Hey guys, my name is Alfaro. I'm 33 years old. I'm based in Dubai, raised in Sweden, and this is my design presentation. So I have 15 years of experience. I started when I was 13, but I found technology when I was like 4 or 6. Opened up the computer first time, and I already know that this is my thing. Throughout the years, I've been designing for Lamborghini, Porsche, Aston Martin, Neon, SAP. Sure, flexing, but that's not the real flex. The real flex is what we accomplished together working with startups, which is raising over $50 million. And my work doesn't only look pretty, it cuts noise, win users, and build companies worth acquiring. And I'm gonna back it up with data later on. So here's a short timeline from where it started to where I am right now. So 2006, I started rapping, and I needed an album cover and I needed a website. So obviously 13 years old, you don't have any money. So I started myself to learn it. And I got to know that I really like this. And I'm a creative person, so designing, developing music, it comes hand in hand. It's creating. 2011, I went to school with media, but I already knew everything. It took me like 1 hour to do assignments. My classmates took weeks, and I felt that I'm just losing time here. So I dropped off. I started freelancing. In 2015, I started working on my first agency, and I learned how to build WordPress themes. I created them from scratch, developing HTML blended with PHP. Then I learned also how to work with teams because I was working for myself back then. But there I was working with 2 other developers. Then at 2017, I got the opportunity to work with VV Group brands like Lamborghini, Porsche, Bugatti, Audi to create their community app, but also covering marketing campaigns like landing pages and email templates. 2019, I started my own company, my startup with a friend. He was the back end, I was the front end, and I did branding and product design. And we actually made it to top 10 in Swedish Shark Tank from 390 applicants, which was huge for us. But we came there, we didn't get a prize. I did the biggest mistake in my life. I worked 2 years on this product without seeing what people wanted, so we built something no one wanted. So I learned the hard way. 2022, I moved to Dubai to expand my connection and my career, and I got the opportunity to work with Neom, the mega project in Saudi, which was pretty interesting. So my design philosophy, what makes me different from others? My approach is that I listen, I think, I ask, and I act. So I always listen into people because we're humans, we design for humans. So it's very important to get to the core of the problem we're designing for. I never make assumptions. For me, design is not art, it's problem solving. All decisions are backed by data and research, so we can always measure outcomes and business results. Third, growth by design. So what I mean by that is that when we design something, we always need to make sure that this is scalable from day one. Even if we don't implement everything, we need to make sure that, okay, what we designed today will work for tomorrow, so we don't have to go back and redo things. And I've seen this happen a lot. So always have that in mind to design something for the future as well. Selected case studies. So one of the projects is Jefa, is Mexican Fintech app for women. And this was pretty interesting. So in Mexico, people don't trust banks, and they literally save their money in shoeboxes or drawers, which was insane for me coming from Sweden, where we have like this integrated for many years. So the biggest challenge was, how do we create trust for people to trust us with their money, which is extremely sensitive. And this was their current app. And as you see, it lacks hierarchy, right alignments and spacing, and no consistent styling. So it doesn't look so trustworthy. The process was that, okay, we need to just redo everything, take one step back and understand our audience. So we noticed that our audience is not tech savvy. They're like around 25 to 40, 55 with little experience with technology. So we built the whole product around one task per screen. And this philosophy is we want to reduce the amount of errors someone can do. So when we give them too many options, we will lose them, and the chance for errors will be bigger. And throughout the whole process, we always asked ourselves, would this confuse someone using the app for the first time? Always, for every screen, for every flow. That laid the whole foundation for building Jefa. One thing that we tried and one thing that we learned from was that we had the whole KYC at sign up. So when you download the app, you fill out your personal details and the KYC. And as you know, if you fill out KYCs online, it's pretty extensive with steps. So we saw a lot of dropouts, and we realized that it was too heavy to ask people to sign up with KYC right away. So what we did was that we removed KYC. We only asked them for the essentials, which was like just personal details. And we moved KYC to after sign up. But even then we saw not so many completion. And this was because people started the KYC and only to notice that I need this document, or I don't have it, or I need to prepare my whatever it might be. So what we did was that, okay, first of all, we need to break this down to make it easy and digestible. So we broke it up to 3 parts instead, which you can complete individually. You don't have to do them at the same time. And we also prepared them for the documents they need in order to complete the flow, which increased the completion rate extremely high. We chose a pastel salmon color, as you see in the screen here, because psychologically it signals friendliness, calm, relaxed, which was crucial for our first-time banking users. We also drew inspiration from Malika Favre, a French artist, when it comes to the vector. We chose something that's timeless, blended with Scandinavian minimalism to create trustworthiness and just ease. And this is some screens from the app. Like you see, it follows the whole cohesiveness with the branding guidelines, and it's very digestible. It's much more simpler to navigate from the original one. I also did the branding guidelines. I did the pitch deck and the social media. I led a team of 4 designers, which was 1 illustrator and 2 junior product designers and 1 graphic designer. We got from 5K users to 100,000 users within 6 months after the launch. They raised $2 million, and we created 80 new companies. And at the end, they got acquired by Tala, which is a huge fintech company in Latin America. Second one is Magnolia, which is healthcare. And this was a bit different from other projects because this was in a very short time, so we didn't have time to really nail the branding and all of that. It was like a bit scrappy and fast go-to-market, which was pretty interesting. So my role there as well was head of design. So the challenge here is that from one day to another, your whole life can change. And what I mean by that is that when some of your beloved ones get a diagnosis, all of a sudden, you're not only a family member, you're a provider, you're a caregiver. And that comes with a lot of responsibilities and things you didn't know that you need to learn right now, like medicine, care, safety, emotional care. And all of these things just adds on top, and it's just an overnight chaos. So the process here was speed over polish, because we wanted something to get out in the market quick. So as you see, here's the journey. And because we were limited with time for testing, we just had to lean on proven practices in healthcare experience. We had to study existing tools, and we had to borrow lessons from similar products that's proven to already work, and blending them together to create our own solution. We wanted to create a safe zone of independency when someone download the app, and make it super simple for you to just focus on the most essentials. That's why you don't see so much things on the screen here. We just kept it for what's most important. And as you see here, it's not super polished UI, but this is pretty interesting because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you're solving a real problem, because as you see, they got acquired by Jeff Bezos, and they got listed on Forbes alongside with Perplexity and Figure AI, which is huge brands. Yeah, we just proved that as long as you solve a real problem, that's the most important thing. Tools and trophies, awards I've won with apps and products I worked on, and skills and stack. So research, discovery, analysis, branding, UX, UI, front end, TypeScript, and tools I use, as you see here, Webflow, Figma, Adobe Suite, create automations with N8N, Make, Notion as product managing, Cursor, Vercel, Supabase. I speak 3 languages, and I have 3 vibe-coded projects I worked on just for fun. So this is a little bit about me, and would love to discuss more and show you more if you're interested to know more about the projects, and I have more case studies. I just picked the top 2 ones just to not overload and make this too long. But yeah, thank you so much, and looking forward to hear from you. Thank you.